But that was a disaster.
I did not do it very well.
We should never let him run the computer again. Trev, you got the 1 minute countdown question for us.
The CFP College Football Playoff Final Four has been released.
We got it wrong.
Stoner, you go first. Oh, you're a Oklahoma fan, whatever. Stoner, you go first.
No,
Alabama or Cincinnati?
The 4 teams are right. Just the orders wrong.
Alabama
really?
or Cincinnati?
Easy. Alabama's going to just destroy them.
Georgia, Michigan.
Easy. Georgia's going to destroy them.
And then championship, real quick.
I don't know.
Okay, Nathan.
Alabama against Georgia? I don't know.
Alabama, Cincinnati. Who you got?
Alabama.
Georgia, Michigan. Who you got?
Georgia.
Come on.
All right. And who you got
Michigan is not
championship?
gonna hang on.
I think Georgia's going to win the rematch.
I got Cincinnati over Alabama. I got Michigan over Georgia. A no SEC championship, and the championship goes to...
I think Michigan could shock Georgia, but let's not get carried away here.
That's not.
We'll see what happens. But we won't be talking college football. We will be talking back to back to back to back W's right here on the Day After Reckoning.
Thomas is in. Touchdown, Washington. Lofting one. He's got a man. It's McLaurin in stride. Touchdown, Washington. Has it back. Chase Young. They're chasing him down the sideline. And Chase Young has a Washington touchdown.
And he does he's just like, come on. That makes me laugh every time.
That deserves a wow.
Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the Day After Reckoning. It is a Victory Monday for 3 out of the last 4 weeks. We did have a Victory Tuesday in there as well. I am Nathan Perry, and joining me today, as always, my wonderful co-hosts. We got Trevi Trev.
What's popping? 4 in a row.
4 in a row. And we got the Stoner.
Stoner and 4. Stoner and 4.
Stoner and 4.
As you can tell from our happiness and we've already said it, it's victory. And I've got my Washington onesie on. It's the Washington onesie.
Hey, it's been working.
Hey,
it has.
I wear it after victories. I hadn't worn it after the first 2 victories, so I'm making sure that that this is brought back. Winning is fun. This team is fun. And this Day After Reckoning is fun. Don't forget, you can actually join us. So all you have to do is DM us on Twitter or Facebook, and we'll send you a link, and then you can share your thoughts on the game and the Washington football team live here right on the show as we stream here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, as we do every day after at 7 p.m. after the day after Washington plays their football game. And of course, then we'll also be on your favorite audio platforms if you're catching this after the fact. So you can always catch us there. Do us a favor. If you're listening to us in audio format, make sure you go out to our YouTube and hit that subscription. We are on the road to 500. We want to get to 500 and unlock some features on YouTube. And we want to be able to work on that community stuff and really bring you some more great content. We enjoy the interaction. We got several people who are in our YouTube chat right now. We got EP, P-Dub, Mama Perry, Mama Stores.
What up, Mama Perry? What up, Mama Store?
Yeah,
what's right now. So we always appreciate the support that our fans bring and other Washington football team fans bring us here on Ref the District. And of course, we are also sponsored by Pacers Running. For every run, they've got you covered. Just check them out at one of their 6 stores in Northern Virginia or DC area for all of your running needs. They've got you covered. Pacers Running for every run.
You guys,
right, guys, back-to-back wins where it's 17-15. Anything to make of that?
Well, it's got me drinking a Fresca tonight. I just want to shout that out.
Fresca,
yeah, I know it's been a while.
Fresca.
We haven't made up yet. We still fighting, but 4 in a row calls for a Fresca. But hey. You guys, we escaped out of Vegas like the lucky gamblers do when they leave Vegas. We gambled for real. If you want to speak in Vegas language, we gambled a few times, got lucky quite a few times, and left out of town jackpot. So I'm just keeping it honest. 17-15,
Yeah.
it was not impressive at all.
No, it was not. It was the first
It was-
game in the last 6 that they were outgained.
Ugly win.
But it was a win.
Ugliest win
And
of the year.
You're right. They did what they had to do. They got a little bit lucky. They played well in spots for sure, but yeah, they got lucky. But a win is a win, and I don't care what. Every team gets lucky throughout the course of a game, throughout the course of a season. So right now, we all complain as Washington fans. Yeah, we all complain as Washington fans that the refs are against us, the league is against us, everything is always against us. Well, right now, a lot of things are going Washington's
for
way,
us.
so we can't say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the Giants win.
Yeah.
The Falcons at the last second. Seattle with the onside kick that they recovered, but they had an illegal formation.
Yep.
And then this one right here where you could have had a pass interference on that
long
play.
Could have had a pick 6. He dropped that pick.
Could have had a pick. A lot of stuff. A lot of stuff has gone their way this year to get to get to 6-6.
Missed a 2-point conversion. Yeah, just to get to 500. But you know what?
Yeah.
Here in this side of town, that's a big goal for us coming out of the bye was to get to 500. And Stoner, you said at the beginning of the season, before kickoff of game 1, week 1, you said if this team can get to 6-6 by where we are right now, we'll be in good shape. And here we are.
Now I didn't predict that they were going to be 6-6. I didn't even actually think they were going to be that good. But in order to have a chance for some kind of postseason, they had to get to 6. And when you looked at that schedule and you saw Buffalo and you saw Seattle and you saw Tampa Bay,
Green Bay.
You were like, can we just get to 6-6?
There it looked
death
brutal.
row.
Yeah.
Can we get to 6-6? And then our last 5 games is against the NFC East. And if that happens, you got a shot. And somehow we're sitting there at 2-6 and we're going, season over.
Cancel.
We're not getting a 6-6. Cancel season tickets.
A lot of people who thought this was a 3 or 4 win team.
After
including
us. I mean, I might have been a little bit in that.
There's some people maybe even on this podcast. I said we can check the receipts, but I'm pretty sure I said there were some very winnable games there.
You did.
Washington. I will say this: the Denver game did have me frustrated. That
I
game
know.
had me frustrated.
You're still frustrated about it.
Oh, it is. That game was winnable, but Washington winning the games now that they need to win. We got shout out a couple people on our chats here. So we got Roger. It is a Victory Monday. Lucky or not, we are celebrate good times tonight. We got Cam Mingo as well. Happy Victory Monday to you, sir.
You know Nathan's in the good mood of Nathan is singing. Usually I'm the singing one, but
yeah, I know, right? I wouldn't necessarily call that singing.
Well, it's better than the tunes that you put out. Like Mama Store has nearly lost her lunch the other day when Stoner came to singing. So it might have been lucky. There was definitely a couple things that certainly went Washington's way. There was a couple things that didn't go their way, but today that changed.
Yeah,
and I'm referring to Logan Thomas's injury.
Yeah,
was one of those things that when he went down, that was a big hit to Washington's offense. I think he ended up, Stoner, you mentioned this during our live stream. He was actually Washington's leading receiver.
Yep.
And at the end of the game. And so that was a big hit to the offense for Washington. Today, they found out that the injury was not as significant
so far
as they thought. You know, they're going to do more tests, which is interesting because they already did the MRI, so they're going to do more than the MRI. But
Logan Thomas, dog. Our season is on this MRI right now, so they're taking it kind of seriously.
I mean,
extra seriously.
So Logan Thomas has been back for 2 of the victories, right? So 1.5 of the victories.
But
one and 2/3 of the victories.
Yeah.
So I do think that they can win games without him, but I do think that the offense is better with Logan Thomas.
Yeah, I was going to say I saw an interesting tweet where somebody said Taylor Heinecke looks way more comfortable in the offense when Logan Thomas is on the field.
For sure.
So
for sure,
he's not like getting many targets. He's still his presence being there.
Yeah, what do we talk exactly? His presence. The other team has to game plan for Logan Thomas. They don't have to game plan for Bates or even Ricky Seals-Jones Maybe Ricky Seals-Jones,
Hemingway, who they brought
maybe
back
he
on the
develops
practice
into
squad.
something, right? But they don't have to game plan for him. You have to game plan for Logan Thomas. So if you lose him,
he was balling too, y'all. He was balling.
That touchdown.
You know what it reminds me of?
Amazing.
Landon Collins last year, balling. Boom, out for the season. Logan Thomas. I mean, he wasn't balling, missed 6 games, but this game he was balling, catching his stride, and then back to the drawing board for this guy. So and if it's
a shame.
Because like you said, so I think it said on Twitter or on a live stream, if it was an ACL and MCL, maybe it was Twitter, that's like a whole year rehab.
That's
so
a year.
If it was if that was confirmed, we weren't looking to have him at all probably for most of next year, even.
Yeah, maybe not even the whole year. Maybe he misses by the time he's gonna be ready.
That now
late
makes our draft situation a little spicier too.
Yeah, it does.
We get a tight end that we can. Because I'm
draft
not
or
no
free
knock
agency.
on Logan Thomas, no knock. Last night was a freak accident, avoidable, but Logan Thomas is injured a lot.
He's been injured. He's not a young guy anymore.
No.
So, it is, if this injury was as significant as they originally thought, this is where that injury does take some of that explosiveness away. Now I would not really consider him an explosive tight end anyways. He's more of a shifty.
That one-hander, dog. He's exploded up to get that one-hander.
He's 6'6".
Can't do that no more.
He definitely elevated for that. But he's more of when he's running his routes, he's more of a shifty guy, someone who finds those pockets and finds his way, and then just uses his big body to get to maneuver there. But if he loses that what little explosiveness he does have, then I really feel like that's really going to hinder his game going forward. But it's good news. I do think that as of this moment, it's not the ACL. That it's maybe not as significant as they think.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's talk about the hit that he took.
Dirty.
And by most accounts, it's dirty, right? I saw
Avoidable.
Chris Long was defending, saying that, he doesn't know the defensive end. I don't remember his name. Or I can't pronounce his name. Yeah.
Former
He's a Maryland guy too, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So he was defending him, saying that he doesn't know if Logan Thomas is going to come and cut him, right? So he's kind of defending or whatever. But there's absolutely no reason for it. He's not in the play. He's a good 5 yards from the play, and he just dove right at his knees.
Yeah.
There was. I didn't get it at all. It was definitely dirty. Who cares if he gets suspended or fined for it or whatever? It doesn't turn back time and
doesn't heal knees.
Yeah, it doesn't heal his knees, so I don't really care what happens. But let's just say it for what it was, and it was a dirty play. It was a cheap shot, and I'm pissed that he did that, because there's a reason they don't like you to do those things. You can do them in a certain part of the field, right? Somebody explained it's very, very detailed. You can do it within 2 yards of the tackle box or something like that. Who cares? Right. Yeah. But it's a reason they got a penalty when Sheriff was out on that screen pass.
Yes.
And a dude went at his knees.
Which
you can't do that. It's dangerous.
It is.
That probably wasn't a penalty. Yeah. But the whole point is they're trying to get rid of guys diving at knees. And he he dove right at his knee. Right.
Ruined his career, yo. You never know.
He may have ruined his career. And so I'm pretty ticked off about that, but what are you gonna do?
It was like you said, it was away from the play. I see a lot of people are like, it's not dirty, or you can't say it's dirty because you don't know his intent. That's if you want to justify it that way, fine. You're right. I don't know.
Give it a different label.
That's Pleasantville.
I will have to agree, right? He in this regard of saying that I don't think that he intended to injure Logan Thomas.
Right.
But he did intend to go low and go at his knee.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So regardless, and that's a play that they were trying to take out of the game because it does lead to injuries. And on the injury front and plays that they want to take out of the game, the running back Drake was taken out of the game, left on a cart. And he posted afterwards that he wants the roll up to be taken out of the game.
Yeah.
As Wise grabbed him and then used his body weight and rolled over and broke his ankle. And so I guess
did he break his ankle?
Yeah, it's done. He's done for the season.
He's done for the year.
Like he's done for the season. Yeah. So he's trying to take that one out. So there's a lot of, you're trying to talk about player safety here, and it's just like some of these things need to be taken seriously. And it's very interesting and unfortunate that on a Victory Monday we have to bring up these things.
We got that out of the way. I'm
not trying to be sad on Victory Monday. What the hell is that?
Let's bring in some exciting things and exciting people. Even we got a special guest because we do get to call into our Day After Reckoning show. Just DM us on Facebook or Twitter. We'll shoot you a link. You can join us, just like our next guest, who some of you might be familiar with. Let's make sure our brands.
A lot of you might be familiar with.
And add him to the stream here. It is Wole.
What's up? What's up? This is dope. Y'all almost had me depressed. We talking about injuries and whatnot. What we doing here?
I know.
What we doing here?
I'm wearing the Washington onesie. It's all supposed to be happy, but
it's all happy, man. It's all happy talk. I mean, and Doc was kind of dirty though. He was dirty, but still, we happy though. We still happy.
Yeah. What's up, Wole? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good to see you too, man. Just got my booster shot. I'm not getting political. Just got my booster shot. I'm just stating that.
No, you're good. Okay.
All right, and so I'm here. I'm in the building. I'm a little sore, but I'm in the building.
I get booster 1 week from today. I'm excited.
Cool. I'm not saying any which way, good or bad. I'm not saying anything which way. I want people out here. I just got my booster shot. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Personal choice, and these two made a personal choice. That we can appreciate that.
Exactly. That's all it is.
So, whenever I'm on your show, we always keep it 100 like anybody else's show we do. But I know you're a keep it 100 man. So honestly, how do you feel about yesterday's victory?
It's dope, man. Like for me, I didn't, before the real streak started, I didn't want to talk the P word. I don't want to even say it right now. I had criteria. It's like you have to win these 3 straight games. They've done that, and one more game, which is the next game. Then we can have all the conversation in the world. Because I don't like talking playoffs. I don't like talking playoffs unless you win the division. I don't care about wild card. I mean, it's good to get in. I think that ideally you want to get in dance, but still, like your goal, if it's still possible, your first goal is to win the division. So that's the way I think about it. But I thought it was a great win. To me, this is something I wanted to see this team play. I wanted the style from the beginning of the season. I wanted this ball control type of game because we don't have a quarterback who's an elite quarterback. There's no knock on him. He's a solid quarterback, but you can't treat him like he's Tom Brady. You can't treat him like he's one of those guys. You got to treat him like a manager. I know that's a dirty word for certain folks, but if your team is predicated on your defense, then you got to build it that way, right? So I'm glad they found this style, this tough style, and it's a style that Ron Rivera is very comfortable with. You know what I mean? Like even with Cam Newton, he had this type of style in Carolina. This is his style. This is his football. This is how he wins football games. So to me, this is what this is what got him to the dance. This is what got him to the Super Bowl one year in Carolina. So bring it here. And you're seeing what's happening. They're winning football games. You know what I mean? And they're winning against tough teams. It's not that BS that people were talking about last year where they were like, oh, what quarterback did they play against? They knocked out. They beat Tom Brady.
Yep.
They beat Russell Wilson.
Yep.
They beat Cam Newton. They beat Derek Carr. All these dudes, regardless of how they're playing or whatever, these dudes were capable one point in time in their career. One was the defending Super Bowl champion. One's the GOAT. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. So I'm all for it. I'm happy that they got the W. And people are like, oh, well, the game should have been much worse with the Raiders. I'm like, bruh, did you watch the last game the Raiders played against the Cowboys? They gave them 30. They gave the Cowboys 30 and beat them on Thanksgiving Day. They're a playoff contender. They're a solid team. And this team was on. They were rested. They were well rested. Washington's coming off a short work week. And so they got the W. Don't stop complaining. Like, I'm about fans, stop complaining. Like, you're doing too much. Like, they won. Be happy. I'm in the middle of the game. Forget before it ended.
Be happy, huh?
I know. Before the game wasn't even over. People were saying it should be much worse than this. I'm like, bruh, this team just gave the Cowboys 30. Like, they just gave them 30. And we're playing on a short work week. Yeah. And you're complaining?
And traveling. Thank you.
And traveling. To the West Coast. To the West.
Sin City. We're easily distracted.
Yes.
You could be distracted as soon as you land.
Exactly. You know how many bars you can go, like, you can take your liquor. You can take your liquor to the streets.
They probably I got a couple of those bench players walking into the.
I'm sure they were. Look, they're not getting their playing time. I'm sure they were.
Like you were saying, this is what we were kind of promised in the off season / preseason. We were promised a dominant defense, and we were promised a quarterback that won't screw everything up. Now it's supposed to be Fitzpatrick, but that's fine. Now it's Heinecke. Don't screw it up. Do just enough so that you can not throw the game away. And let this defense handle it. And that's what they've been doing. They found their identity. Run the ball. Don't turn it over. Play great defense. And it's resulted in 4 wins in a row. Yeah.
It's good football. I mean, it's always, to me, regardless of it not being a sexy thing, because that's what people get predicated. So it's not sexy enough.
Sure.
But if you look at the track record of football, right, the NFL, like nowadays, people throwing 500 yards and people equivalent that to winning a Super Bowl. But if you really break down the history of football, smash mouth football, ball possession football, playing solid defense, playing special teams, you win those phases of the game. You will be there you will be around when people are deciding a Super Bowl champion. You will be around. I'm not saying you'll be in the game, but you will be around. We saw that growing up with Joe Gibbs. We saw that growing up with Joe Gibbs. You saw that close, and I use the example for more recent football. You saw that a little bit with Jacksonville when they went to the AFC Championship game and lost to Tom Brady and had that game. If it wasn't for their quarterback being that bad in that game, they pretty much win that game. The Tennessee Titans with King Henry, they play that particular style. That's why they're always in the talk since they've been feeding the beast with Tannehill. So I'm just saying, like, that can win you football games if you play that style. I'm not saying you're going to win the Super Bowl. I'm not saying that. But you'll be in the discussion when we're talking about, okay, that team doesn't want to play you. Because I'm telling you, if they make it to the postseason and this is their identity, no team wants to play this squad. And no team wants to be behind playing this squad. Because you're behind playing this squad, they're milking clock. That puts more pressure on your offense to try to score quick. If you can't do that, like if you put more pressure and they're trying to score, they make mistakes, they turn the football over, you can take over that. So exactly.
Because some of those offenses aren't built to.
They're not built that way. They're not built that way. Again, you're not playing against Tom Brady every week. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is.
And we've finally gotten to the point now to where this team is in control of its own destiny.
Yes.
Right? It is in our hands. We don't have to worry about what this team's doing, what that team's doing. Whatever happens on Sunday with this team, as long as you keep winning, it's hard-pressed to think that they're going to win 9 games in a row. But if you just keep winning, you don't have to worry about anybody else. Just keep on winning. That'll get you to the wild card at a minimum. I know you said you don't like wild card, but wild card's still playoffs last time.
No, it's good. Don't get it twisted. Yeah. No, look. What I'm saying is that I'm not aiming for that, right? Mentally, I'm not aiming. If I'm the players, I'm not aiming for that. Like you said, if you control your own destiny, then you can get that division, right? You can host the game at FedEx. That's the goal. And I want to make this perfectly clear too. Like, I don't go to games. I mean, I don't, because I'm all about the hustle. Like, I'm about the hustle. I can do my podcast afterwards. I'm all about the hustle. Yeah. But I will say this, though. If you're an individual that does go to games and then you feel like, this team disrespected you, they didn't give you a reason to go to games. If you're missing this game, you got a serious problem. Like, you got to support this squad for this game. If you ain't going in this game, then don't go to no game. If you went to Vegas, you better be here. Like, if you went to Vegas, you better be here. Like, you better be here. I don't ain't no complain about no traffic, how FedEx sucks, your experience. Don't go into that stadium letting the Cowboys fans own it. No, this is an opportunity to shut people's mouths, man. These same fools were talking much trash in the beginning of the season like they squad was world beaters. This is an opportunity to shut them up for real. So all I'm saying is this is the game. That is the game to attend. I don't want to hear on TV a bunch of Cowboy fans when Washington has the ball. I want to hear when Dak has the ball, he can barely get signals off. Like, that's what I want to see. You know what I'm saying? So that's the game to be at, man.
Very nice.
I hear you, Wole, man, but I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen.
Those ticket prices. Look,
they went to Vegas. All right, they went to Vegas. I'm sorry. They lost. When they went to Vegas and mobbed Vegas, they mobbed Vegas.
Yes,
they mobbed Vegas, man.
We were
that's all I'm saying. Like, Look, you
unless
might.
they won big in Vegas, they probably don't have the money to buy.
I'm just saying.
Stayed at home.
Look,
They should have wasted on
they
Vegas.
should have waited home then. Should have waited that down. They here now. Look, they back here. They had no excuses. Get their ugly butts back here and get here and watch this. Watch it. Be in the stadium. Watch it. I don't paint face. Do what you gotta do. I don't care if it's 30-degree weather. Be there. Do it all. Use in Vegas. I don't want to hear nothing.
Perry Clan will be there, so the Perry Clan will be part of that loud crowd.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear. I live right down the street, so I'm still not going. But still, that's what I like to hear. I could literally walk on one some exercise. But I'm still not going.
Man. Hey, real quick, Wole, while I have you real quick before I let you go.
Yeah.
Our fantasy football league we're in, you and I, we suck, bro.
No, what? I don't blame me. All right, I like myself to blame me too much.
You guys have one team, or you have two separate?
No, I mean, look. I mean, he has like look.
I'm
Stoner,
in last. He's right above me.
Stoner, let me let you. Stoner, I'm gonna talk to you real quick. Stoner, I'm gonna talk to you real quick. I'm looking in your eyes. On my mom, I'm looking in your eyes right now. I'm talking to you right now. I'm talking to you right now.
I'm hearing.
The dude has a two quarterback fantasy team.
Ooh.
So when you got, and so when one quarterback, and it's about 12, I went like, is it 12 teams or something?
I'm in 12.
It's 12 teams. Yes. So if your quarterback is hurt, you don't have an option. You're done. So once I had no option, I was like, bruh, I'm over you. And I play fantasy. And I'm a fantasy dude.
One quarterback.
You pick two quarterbacks. I'm just saying, when they're hurt, you have no options. There's number backups. Those dudes don't even play. So, like, I even told the commissioner, it's like Vince McMahon, he's the commissioner. Yeah. But I even told the commissioner, and I was like, hey, dude, you need to not do that again. Mm-hmm. And from that, and I didn't like his response. I said, you know what? I don't care. I don't care anymore. I just don't care. All right? I'm not going to waste my time. I'm not going to waste my time subbing players. I can't pick up a quarterback. I'm good. I'm done. See, look at me. Urban Sports Scene.
Good. 2-10.
For anybody who watches, supports the Urban Sports Scene, and you see that last place thing that Trev has put me on blast with. Thank you, Trev. I appreciate you. I apologize, and don't let that kill like my knowledge for football to you. That if you think I know football, don't let that kill you. So thank you, Trev, for putting me on blast, man. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Fantasy and the real deal. I think a lot of our fans appreciate that ball control talk that you brought up here. Wole, where can they find you?
All right, on Twitter, you can find me at Wole_USS. If you want to kind of, we can chop it up. I shoot the breeze over there. And if you want to follow our content just on social media, we have a Urban Sports Scene Facebook page. And also, you can follow us at Urban Sports Scene on Twitter.
Awesome. Well, Wole, thanks for joining us here on Ref the District. Absolutely need to be following Wole and following the Urban Sports Scene because they got some great content. And Trev has mentioned before he joins them often on the Urban Sports Scene. So they cut it up. Good stuff there. Wole, thanks for joining us here on Ref.
Thank you, Wole.
No problem. Appreciate you. Appreciate you all, man.
See you,
man. Wole's high energy. I love it.
Yep. Love that.
This is one that he's talking about the teams that get there, right? And at least they're in.
Yes.
New England, like Tom Brady's the GOAT. Okay. Tom Brady does what he does, and he's good. But New England does this ball control. They're 8-4 this year with a rookie quarterback who most of us, to include at least two of us on this podcast, who said that quarterback
we want nothing to do with him.
We wanted nothing to do with Mac Jones. Not a thing. And he's and you got Bill Belichick up there in New England, who's 8-4 with the guy, potentially 9-4, depending on how Monday Night Football goes tonight.
It's Tom Brady Jr. Just saying.
You see the weather, by the way, up there in Buffalo?
That's why the Patriots will win.
It's like 40-mile-an-hour winds and snow.
It's snowing. Yep.
40-mile-an-hour winds.
Weather.
That's funny because I have a parlay for that tonight.
Yeah. I hope you took the under was part of it. What's his name? The Monday Night Crew. They were sitting in their chairs or whatever, and this huge gust of wind knocked them out of their chairs. They weren't playing it up. They got knocked out of their chairs by the wind. They got to play football.
The game?
No chance. Lightning's the only thing that'll cancel the game.
You think Mac Jones will pass for over 188 yards?
No.
I don't think anybody will. I think this is going to be.
What about long screen plays?
I don't know. I just don't see it.
Is he gonna run? Is that all they're running all the games?
Find all the unders you possibly can. Find them all.
Yeah. So
I don't know about that.
Mac
Adam.
J all day, Super Bowl champs.
Calling them Super Bowl champs.
That's
already?
funny. That's my boy Adam
Little
Conjure. That's the one. All right. So I was at his house a little bit ago before I got here. He's a Patriots fan, avid Patriots fan.
Yeah.
And he helped me pick the parlay.
Shout
it
out,
was
Adam.
like a
It's a parlay. It's a parlay.
It's a
parlay. That's what we said.
Parlay. It's like a 6 or 7
parlay.
leg parlay. And I'm about to read it to you real quick what it was. But
All
he's
right,
a Patriots fan.
It's how many? How many?
6 or 7. I know this is off track right now. Nathan, don't get mad, but we won yesterday. I mean, what else can we talk about?
Yeah, we can do whatever we want.
Yeah. All right.
I've lost control.
Mind you, so it was Damon. This is all before we turn on the countdown.
Yeah, see the weather.
Damian Harris is an anytime touchdown scorer. That's
Okay.
one.
It's not
He
terrible.
also has to score 2 or more touchdowns. That's another one.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Josh Allen is an anytime touchdown scorer.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
Mac
That's
Jones
easy.
to throw over 188 and a half yards. This
Okay.
is before we saw the weather.
Yep. I don't like it.
Damian Harris has to rush for over 51 yards.
Geez, you got a lot riding on Damian Harris.
And the Patriots, I took their money line.
Okay.
So $3 bet. $3 bet.
Pays what if you win?
$675.
All right. I like it. And this begs the question. Why have we not been we've been talking about doing these same game parlays all this time. Trev's got an account. What are we doing? We should be doing this every week.
We can discuss that. We should make that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we can't do it because we're in Maryland.
Yeah.
Well, Maryland said that
it's
we
coming.
will.
I have a friend who actually, it's funny you said that, texted me before we got on.
They're working it. They're working
He lives in Frederick, and right here, FanDuel, it says, what's it say? It says, Maryland sports betting set to begin this week after more than a year of delays.
Oh, thank
I
God.
don't believe it. I don't believe it.
I don't believe it either. We'll see.
I don't believe it. Especially now.
Fox 5 DC reported that.
Share that link in our chat here.
Guys.
It'd be great. It'd be great.
Yeah.
We do our Dolla Dolla. We're talking about the bets. So we want to bring up Dolla Dolla now, or do we want to go to? We're bringing.
We got go-goes and no-goes.
We normally Dolla Dolla saved for the game. Normally Dolla Dolla saved for the end, but it's called the segue. We're talking about betting.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, let's do Dolla Dolla now. Oh, he got notes from the game. It was 17-15.
Of course, he got notes. Let's talk about the game.
I'll talk about it real quick.
We've already derailed enough, but
yeah.
All right, here we go.
The betting aspect, we do Dolla Dolla. Big update to that.
Ooh.
A big update. That's called the tease.
I'm winning, y'all.
All right.
Yeah.
Maybe not that big.
Like an impossible.
maybe not that big, but a big update to our Dolla Dolla. So you definitely going to stick around for our prop bets to see how that is panning out.
All right. So
this game 17-15.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You guys said we kind of got lucky in a couple aspects.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like, again, for probably the 7th game in a row, Washington left points off the board.
100%.
Big time. Yesterday was the leading the 7 games. That's first place. Yesterday's performance was first place. We didn't score in the first quarter and in the fourth quarter. We left points. We got down the red zone. I mean, it's just
it is happening a lot.
It is,
but that's what you get when you don't have enough playmakers, and they don't have enough playmakers right now. How many times did we see Terry McLaurin out there with 3 dudes on him?
That's very true.
So somebody else has to step up.
The most hilarious thing
that was funny.
Is to watch him not just triple covered, he was quadruple covered.
The whole secondary was on
on one of these plays where it's just,
and we still didn't hit the open receiver.
That's pretty sad. Okay, that part's pretty sad. But the fact that you have 4 Raiders trailing Terry McLaurin is just absolutely hilarious. But yes, that should mean somebody else is open.
Well, you don't have playmakers right now. You just don't have them.
Curtis Samuel.
He's not yet. He's obviously not healthy. He's only playing 20 plays a game. He touched the
all
ball
they got him
twice
doing
yesterday.
All they got him doing is motion, man. Motion sweeps.
Yeah,
I think his role
turn into one. Hopefully,
his role this game was also limited because he was filling in for J.D. McKissick quite a bit.
Sure. Yeah.
So there was a lot of those the play calls for him were made where those were normally J.D. McKissick plays. Yeah. But they were like, we need somebody, and they apparently didn't trust Smallwood. He did.
had a
Smallwood started to get some plays later on, but in the first half, it was like, let's work this in with Curtis Samuel. I think probably there was also, they just had those plays, queued up for a couple weeks now, as they've been eager to get Curtis Samuel back in, as he is someone they expect to be a playmaker.
I don't want to prelude to the game because we'll talk about it Wednesday, but now we're in the nitty gritty of the thing. So I'm going to say it. Missed tackling. Yeah, we won yesterday, but we got to clean that up because now, like I said, the nitty gritty is here.
Mm-hmm.
We got to clean up. We got to clean up those missed tackles because a lot of those plays the Raiders had were short dink and dunk passes behind the line of scrimmage passes and turned into.
And Washington players were there. They were there, but they were missing the tackles.
And Jamin Davis, Cole, like the linebackers. A lot of linebacker missed tackles yesterday. I'll say that.
Yeah, but this is also the first game that we've really seen it because we praised them the last 3 or 4 weeks about how good they've been tackling.
Right.
Now teams have not been getting those extra yards after contact.
We took a step
this
back
game
in that
for sure. There were a lot of missed tackles.
Kendall Fuller went for the dive that first time, and it worked on Hunter Renfrow. He went for it the second time, and it didn't work. And a big gain for the Raiders.
Yeah, but also I don't think any of those missed tackles necessarily were impactful plays for the Raiders.
Okay. I know,
right?
Yeah, there wasn't. But now we're in the nitty gritty. They're definitely going to be impactful because our division, each team has a playmaker on the offense.
Smith, Dallas has got 4.
That's what I'm saying. Saquon Barkley and Giants, Devontae Smith and CeeDee Lamb, Gallup, Pollard, Zeke.
That's whether or not he's the starting QB or not. Jalen Hurts is not somebody you want to miss.
True. Yes, I forgot. See, I forgot that quick.
Boston Scott, if he's healthy. I don't even know if he's healthy. I mean,
CeeDee Lamb, you don't want to miss a tackle on him.
And Saquon Barkley he has the worst year ever, but he always balls out against us. You guys notice that? He does. We can never stop Saquon.
So does Daniel Jones, but hopefully
maybe he won't even be playing.
Pans out.
Maybe they get Glennon.
But anyway, so that's just what I saw from the game.
So I got a couple of topics whenever you guys are ready.
Mr. Notebook down there.
Let's hear it, Notebook. Let's hear it, Mr. Sparks. Isn't he the writer of the Notebook?
Is it?
Is he?
Something Sparks.
What, the movie? I don't know.
Have you seen the movie?
No.
It was a while ago. Yeah, it was a while ago when I saw it. But
that's
very sad or very.
I know.
Very
Nathan, you need to watch the Notebook before Wednesday.
Yeah,
is that my homework? I don't think
that's your job.
Yeah. Okay.
I thought something that was a really big deal, and we talked about most everything on here. We talked about in the live stream because it was kind of a big deal when it was happening, right? Okay. But I thought it was a big deal when on the kickoff after Washington kicked their field goal to make it 17-15, and there was 37 seconds left, and we kicked it to the 1. I don't know if that was planned or if that's as far as Brian Johnson can kick it. But when they kicked it to the 1, and then he came out to the 25, right? They used 6 seconds doing that and got it to the same spot if they had kicked it into the end zone and got it at the 25 on a touchback. But they used 6 seconds on that play. I don't know if that was planned to do that, but it was brilliant because those 6 seconds could have meant everything in this particular game as Vegas had only a few seconds to go. So that was a big deal to me. Brian Johnson, I don't know if you guys are going to use him for a go-go, but he came up big, obviously, with that kick. Jonathan Allen said, I didn't even know the kicker's name until after the game.
Yeah, bro.
Until everyone is jumping on. He didn't even know his name.
That's insane today that he was trying to get him to sign to us for training camp.
Right.
But he chose the Bears instead.
Yeah, well, he signed. Yeah, they wanted him as a backup.
Yeah, they wanted him on the practice squad.
Yeah, he signed with on the active squad for the Bears or whatever. But I thought
Tony, shout out to Tony on Facebook here. Humphreys catches as usual.
Security blanket, bro.
I thought I thought all the receivers / tight ends were great.
Even De'Ami Brown.
De'Ami Brown had a play.
Yeah. Gibson,
Humphreys
the leading,
catches everything.
Yeah, the leading receiver as far as catches with 5. Logan Thomas leading receiver in yards with 48.
And they're
The
gonna
ball was
miss
spread around. The ball was
Okay.
spread around.
Yeah, they're gonna miss
Let me ask
Logan
you guys a
Thomas.
question.
They're just
Let me ask
gonna
you guys
miss
a question.
him.
Were you pleased with the way Taylor Heinecke played yesterday?
I would say
Be realistic.
that
Let's be honest.
Yeah, I would say that he played very average, and that's all that you can ask for, right?
Do you think
I
Taylor
wasn't-
Heinecke played well yesterday? Yes.
Yes, he
He
played
was
very average.
Wait, did I say
Average
yes
is
right at the
not
beginning?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, I didn't. I was acknowledging your
Well,
question.
very
Sorry.
average.
Okay.
Sorry, I meant to that as an
So-
acknowledgement of your question. I
Okay,
thought he
word,
played
so-
very average.
Okay, I agree with you totally.
He did not play bad. He did not
He did
play
not
very
play
well.
good. No,
He did it just enough to not throw the game away, literally.
which he almost
But
did.
he didn't. But he didn't like lead the team to victory. Although that last drive, he was great on that last drive.
Technically a game-winning drive.
Yeah, he was great
That
on
goes
that
down
last
as
drive.
a game-winning drive.
He
Even
was
with that
hitting
dropped
Humphreys.
interception?
He was hitting Humphreys. He
Wasn't
was
an interception in the books.
It wasn't.
I tell you this.
I thought he played
It's so
that last
scary.
drive really well.
The last
Mhm.
drive he did play very well. I think the overall game, I wasn't, and I know that I'm a little jaded. I'm not as impressed with him as
Me neither.
others are. I thought it was just an average game. But then you look at the stats, and this is why you can't just look at a box score and base it off of there. But if you look at his box score, 23 of 30,
Mhm.
only 196 yards, so not
Mhm.
exactly lighting up there. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
Yep.
QBR of 65.7, which is not bad, and a rating of 101.5, which is pretty darn good.
Very good. That's right.
So, I mean, when you look at it that way, you put it in perspective, not a bad game, a pretty good game by statistical measures.
Yeah,
there.
for sure.
But
And
I have to agree. I haven't seen his PFF score. I think I'm probably going to lean with this PFF score, which is probably somewhere in the 50s, maybe 40s, that it was not his best game.
No.
But he showed up when he needed to show up. That interception was killer. And that interception could have been backbreaking for Washington.
Mhm.
That was a time where they were one
It
of
was
those times
third
where I
down.
feel like they left points on the board. That was a drive where I felt like they were
Yeah.
supposed to score some points.
Mhm.
And he gave away the ball.
Yeah.
But
and then
he
conversely, he came right back the next drive
came right back
and led him right down to the winning field goal.
and led them to on a game-winning
Ooh,
drive.
shout
So
out Brian
that-
Johnson. one
And
time.
what is that called, Trev or Nathan? What is that called?
called some moxie.
That's
Nah,
moxie.
dog. I'm not.
That's
That's
calling
the
it moxie.
definition of moxie.
You know what I call it? His job. That's what he's supposed to do. Moxie
Fair
or
enough.
not, bro.
Fair
His-
enough.
Not
Tired
many.
of this moxie talk,
Hey,
Nathan.
he won it's a team sport, but he was a big part of why Washington won. Now, he was also a big part of why they were in that position in the first place. But
Amen.
Jonathan Allen is even getting behind. Said he actually came out and
I
said
hated
this.
that he
He's
said
showing
that.
why he needs.
I hate. Well,
to
what is he
be-
supposed to say?
Yeah, I agree, Trev. I
They are
agree.
rallying behind.
You have
they
to
are
rally around your
rallying
quarterback.
behind the
If it
quarterback.
was if it was Shermer or whatever out there, they'd be saying the same thing.
Yeah.
You're
Now,
right,
I
100%.
agree with one aspect here that I saw, and I can't remember who tweeted this, but I agreed with this assessment here. Okay, so this is not my own. I'm just agreeing with the assessment I saw, and I wish I
Mhm.
could remember who put this out here.
Is this your own assessment, or you're agreeing with somebody else's assessment?
Agreeing with somebody else's assessment. Maybe you'll agree with my agreement of somebody else's assessment.
So this is not your own.
This is not one.
Okay, gotcha. All right, I got you. I'm tracking now.
All right. Taylor Heinecke
hmm
That was so
has a lot of the intangibles that you want in a quarterback.
hmm
Okay. He is intelligent. He knows where to put the ball.
No, he
Mhm.
does not.
I have to disagree with you there. I do think he
disagree
he
Trev,
knows
too.
how to read a defense, and I do think he knows where to put the ball. I
Mhm.
think the problem is he's lacking some of those tangibles.
Right.
The arm
height.
strength, the height, the
Mhm.
fact that he's like, probably a little bit bigger than my 8-year-old son. Right. So these are the things that
His consistency.
I think so.
Right.
I think that he's been getting a lot more consistent with his play, and you've seen that after the bye week, he's been an entirely different player. And this is the type of player I think they want him to be, right? He is
just don't screw it up.
Don't screw it up.
Manager, right?
He's still allowed to do some of this Brett Favre-esque kind of, do that slinging it here and there type play. And, if the play breaks down, just kind of go out there and wing it type activities. So, which is core to who Taylor Heinecke is.
Mm-hmm.
It's so bad when we have to say our quarterback is allowed to do explosive.
Yeah, you're
You
right.
got to contain them to.
We should have a quarterback that has allowed to do whatever the heck he wants to do from day one. And that's our biggest problem. We
don't. And you don't really. I don't think you really want that. Okay, because those aren't a dime a dozen. Those are very rare commodities that they could just go out there and free will and win you games. All right. Yeah. Now
let me throw some stats out at you, Trev and Nathan.
Okay.
In yards, Taylor Heinecke is 15th in yards. Okay.
Passing yards.
Okay. He's 15th, middle of the pack, right?
Okay.
Completion percentage. Taylor Heinecke is 9th. He's ahead of guys like Derek Carr, Russell Wilson, Josh Allen, Matt Stafford, Justin Herbert, Aaron Rodgers. He's ahead of all those guys in that particular category. Okay. In touchdowns, he's 12th. He's ahead of guys like Derek Carr and Matt Ryan and Mac Jones and Ben Roethlisberger and Lamar Jackson and Wilson and Tannehill and all those guys. Okay. So he's not lighting the world on fire.
No.
He's not in anybody's category, but he's doing enough to manage the game properly to allow this team to win. If the defense was still the defense from the first half of the year, they'd be 3-11 or whatever. Do the math on that. 3-10 or 9, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But the defense has improved so much, and it's allowed him to not have to try and win the game and throw those terrible interceptions in the end zone against Green Bay and against New Orleans and against Kansas City when he had to try and win the game.
Mm-hmm.
And he hasn't had to do that.
Okay, so what are you trying to tell me to do?
To go ahead and don't think that he's the future.
He's not.
Think that he's good enough for this team for this year to lead them to the playoffs.
Potentially a bridge QB next year.
And maybe even next year.
I just have this eerie gut feeling that we're due for a Taylor Heinecke game that we're all accustomed to.
Maybe so.
Possibly.
Maybe so.
Probably for longer than you might be comfortable with. Hear me out here. I was thinking about this on my bus ride into work. Mm-hmm. Last week, Stoner asked us if we'd be comfortable with an ex QB and gave us some random stats. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And that was
got me thinking. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The stats that he gave us were like 24 and 14. We said no, right? So
that was Taylor Heinecke, right?
Taylor Heineke's out through the rest of the year. Okay. 19 and 13 the first year. Maybe then next year he goes 26 and 14. What if he goes 26 and 9? We got 28 and 19. We got a year in here with 31 and 10. There's a 36 and 19, 34 and 9. Probably not realistic for some of these, but
who is that? The progression.
Tony Romo.
Awful.
Tony Romo. Oh, what? Awful?
How many playoff appearances does Tony Romo have?
Not a whole lot, but
how many?
Quarterbacks don't win.
How many?
Are not solely responsible. I don't know.
Looking just at this,
it's a quarterback-driven league.
For
falls
sure.
on their shoulders.
For sure.
Definitely.
3 at least. Probably a couple more in there where they went 8 and 8. I'm just saying that I do think that this is we talked a lot about comparable, of who we have here. I think this is a Tony Romo type player.
Gross.
Come on, he'd be the best. Tony Romo would be the best quarterback that this team has had in 40 years.
Well, we didn't even get to see Ryan Fitzpatrick at all.
Okay, well
that's not our fault.
Yeah, right. You can't compare them.
Sorry that he's a 38-year-old that got tackled and broke his hip subflexor. Okay, like that is
stop?
what it is.
He's a human being.
I'm not,
but
I'm
for
kidding,
sure,
I know.
if Tony Romo
What?
was on this team,
And we
putting up
would
the
be
stats,
what?
He would be the best quarterback this team has ever had,
And
or not
we'd
ever
be
had
what?
in 40 years.
We'd be what?
Who knows? Who knows?
We're probably an 8-8
Better than
team
they've
like
been in
Dallas
40
was for a
years.
while.
Yes.
Now, granted, Dallas had some awful coaches in that time frame as well.
But they had and they had way more weapons than us, and they still were.
They did, but they had awful coaches.
They had Tony Romo. Yeah.
Washington's been very fortunate that Dallas has been just gluttonous in talent, where they just had just talent all over the place, but they've been awful at picking the right head coaches.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we've been very fortunate as Washington fans in that regard.
Now,
Washington, take Washington's team and give that to Mike McCarthy. What do you think Mike McCarthy's record is this Washington team?
We have two wins.
2-10 or whatever.
Yeah, like
exactly.
my fantasy football. It'd be my fantasy football.
It's awful. Okay, Ron Rivera is doing a heck of a job coaching these guys up. And they are doing what they need to do to win games. And part of that is Taylor Heinecke, who's having a pretty good season and he's progressing. He's doing better. Again,
but
I'm
that's
not a
why
part
we're
of the hive.
That's why we're 6-6, Trev.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
Because he's just an average quarterback.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And we're not 8-4.
Okay.
Right? We're 6-6.
I just really have a hard time congratulating that man, like for real. I know I posted a picture of him, that Chase Young meme on the last win. Because he showed out that game, like.
But I tell you what,
this game he was.
But I tell you what, Trev,
mediocre.
You know what he's done for himself? He's probably made himself about $60 million.
$60 million?
Yeah, over the course of the rest of his career, not next year. He's going to be a backup or a spot starter. He's going to be a bridge. Look at what Bridgewater's made. Look at what Tyrod Taylor's made.
Colt McCoy. How much money has
Colt McCoy, Mike Glennon. Those guys have made 40, 50, $60 million. And we all know the cap is going up like $20 million next year.
He's going to get paid.
So
even if he's
auditioning for a contract with us right now, is what you're saying.
Oh, absolutely.
Or with anybody, for sure.
They probably won't sign him to extension until after next year.
Until he fumbles the bag. But go ahead.
But he's going to be he's likely going to be here as Washington's bridge QB. And he's as long as he keeps progressing, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Let's get to our go-goes and no-goes.
Let's say
we're already at 8 minutes and we need to get moving on. We'll have more Taylor Heinecke conversation.
I don't ever want to have this long of a conversation about Taylor Heinecke again. I really wasn't trying to.
Too bad.
Stoner had to throw out the stats and be on the Heinecke hive, and
I'm not on the hive. I don't think he's the future.
I know.
I don't.
I would not be surprised if he continues to do well and he does well next year as the bridge QB. That they continue to sign him, and he's Washington's Tony Romo.
Baby.
Wait, let me put this up real quick.
What do you put?
I just had to put.
He just wanted Roger agreed with Stoner for our audio listeners, so he had to put that.
Thanks,
up.
Roger. Show me some love.
Go. Give us a no-go, Trev.
A no-go?
A go-go.
Oh, a go-go?
Go-go.
I got Keith Ishmael, the center, fourth stringer, coming in, doing a dang job. You didn't see any really big miscommunications between him and Taylor or the rest of the line. So shout out Keith Ishmael having to be the starting center on a week's notice. So
they had 2 sacks and they still ran also for like 120 some odd yards.
Yeah. So shout out Keith Ishmael.
Absolutely. I like it.
All right, Stoner, go.
I want to say the whole defense, but we can't do that. The defense I thought was great. Obviously, they had some missed tackles and they weren't perfect, but I thought defensively they were outstanding against Derek Carr, who leads the league in passing yards. Don't forget that.
And that offense leads the league in completions over 20-plus yards with 58, and the average 5 of those a game.
1 or 2, maybe.
Yeah,
I can remember maybe Renfro had one.
Not enough to win me a Dolla Dolla bet.
The one that he overthrew out of bounds and was double covered. It was that one, and then I guess maybe the last play of the game, not the Hail Mary, but the Bobby McCain pass interference not called.
Yeah, but they didn't complete it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's true. But like they only had 2 attempts of that. That was the most deep balls I think they threw all game too. So.
Well, I think they had one to Renfro. Might have had one when the back went in motion. Remember we were talking about it and 2 of our guys jumped up and Renfro went right behind it. That was probably about a 20 or 25 yarder.
Other than
I think Djax had one.
14
about
yards.
20 something yards. Didn't he? It wasn't.
It was
only
catch
like
for
14.
Mhm.
Okay.
It was the first.
My go-go is going to be is Gibby.
My go-go.
You did give us a
you
go-go.
did.
But I want to
You
say
said the
specifically, I thought
Who?
Bobby McCain played his best game of the year.
Yes,
he was very
did.
good. And
very good.
how many times did William Jackson get burned?
0.
We hardly saw him. That's
I know,
how
we really did. Yep, that's lockdown.
Sorry, I just want to get those in specifically.
Right.
It's okay.
Gibby's
Nathan's
going to
in
be
a hurry
mine.
tonight
I
on
didn't have to
Victory
yell at
Monday.
him for not running out of the bounds. I didn't.
Yeah,
he
you
did
didn't.
like he did his job,
Didn't
and not
fumble.
only did he do it, he did it without the help of J.D. McKissick, who
Yeah,
is
true.
I think a very important part of this offense and helps spell Gibson when he needs it. He didn't have that backup. The second leading rusher was Taylor Heinecke.
Yeah. Right.
So, I mean, Smallwood had 13 yards, but Taylor Heinecke had 3 rushes. Smallwood just had the 1 rush.
Yeah.
Curtis Samuel had 2 rushes for -1 yards. Like, I mean, they just
Yeah, because they were on reverse.
Gibson.
I hated that.
And not only that, Gibson also those 5 catches that I mentioned earlier.
Mhm.
He's my go-go. Let's get a no-go in there as well.
And by the way, don't forget that one play on the first drive when they had 3rd and 1 and they pitched it back 7 yards and he had dudes all around him and he somehow
made it. Absolutely.
That was impressive.
I'm going to go, okay.
Impressive.
My no-go is Scott Turner's play calling in the first half. After we scored. We marched down the field, got the ball. We looked beautiful on that drive. We scored. I was like, yo, this might be a high-scoring affair because of how fast it was. And then we didn't score.
Just
we didn't
nothing.
even get a lot of punts, 3 and outs right after that. We were running, like you said, 2 rushes to Curtis Samuel. The reverses. Why are we running reverses in our own territory? I can't understand that.
First
Screens
half
to
was
Bates.
very, very
Screen passes,
very
John
embarrassing.
Bates.
Lots of
Tight end
punting.
screens. Like we don't have George Kittle. We have John Bates.
Right.
Whatever.
My no-go is Jamin Davis.
Yes, thank
He
you.
was definitely all over the field. Look, the good thing was he was in position to make tackles, right?
Yeah.
So he was in the right spot. He was getting there. He just wasn't making the tackles. I believe he had 4 missed tackles. That's way too many.
He definitely missed quite a few.
linebackers.
He did make some key stops there.
That's
what I was going to bring up.
He did make some key
If
stops.
he doesn't make that,
I put as no-go.
If he doesn't make that tackle on that last drive, when they were moving down, it's a whole different ball game. And he came all the way from the other side and tracked him down from behind. And dude had blockers all up in front of him. That might have been a touchdown. Yeah. So that was a great play for Jamin Davis. He was in position. He just was missing a lot of tackles.
I was getting on him during our live stream that he looked a little sluggish.
Yeah,
he did.
I wonder if that
Everett.
Mouth is not working right now.
DE.
If that hit from that friendly fire hit that he received,
woke him up.
If that kind of
rung his bell,
if that rung his bell just a little too much, because he did seem a little sluggish there in the middle, but he definitely at the end he started coming together. So that was pretty good. My no-go is
I can't wait for this one.
Is going to be Cole Holcomb. That guy just was. He had one really good pass defense, like just absolutely just a thing of beauty. But outside of that, he was just
he had a rough game.
It was not a good game for Cole.
That was probably his worst game all season.
It was not. And he played most of the snaps. Man. It was just not a good game. He talked about afterwards that you didn't realize how important Landon Collins is to this defense and the places that he plays, because he plays linebacker, he plays safety. He does kind of the hybrid role so well.
It does so much.
And when you have to play Cole or DeShazer in those spots, it's not the same. No. It is not the same. And so Cole really, really kind of made me, think that this, we talk about needing a tight end in the draft next year. They need more linebacker help.
And that's what I'm going to say. That just brings me to the point that, like, no knock to Cole, but he's not that linebacker one. He's not the guy that's going to lead the linebacking group and like, okay, we're down a guy, but we can do it. Like, he's a good second, third guy to like a rotation guy. So when the leader's down, we don't have the John Bostic to step up. And I know everybody hates it, but he brought that leadership and the command of the linebackers. We don't have that on the field to help Cole. Now it's all on Cole to be Landon, and it's just like you said, it's different, and it showed on the field.
I didn't think he was terrible.
No,
I mean, Nathan thought he was terrible. I didn't think he was that bad, but he definitely
was bad.
There was more times that I was yelling at him than I was yelling for him.
Who was the leading tackler yesterday?
Okay, so doesn't matter. Tackles are
that's every game too.
Tackles are just a box checking stat thing. It's not like some of those tackles. If you tackle somebody after they've gained 10 yards on a 3rd and 7, I don't care. They've already gained the first down.
You're right.
All right. Now you're just great. You padded your stats. All right. I don't care about that.
Speaking
tackle
of
them for
stats,
less than the thing.
Can we pack my pockets full of these Dolla Dollas that I need to talk about here?
You ready to pay up?
I'm ready to get rich.
You ready to pay
I'm
up?
not paying anything. Y'all owe me. Hey, Barbara, if you're listening from the live stream,
that's right.
I need my $20. Tomorrow's.
She did say she's going to jump in on the chat here, so
maybe on Wednesday.
I thought you said Wednesday. Yeah,
all right, well, Barbara,
Wednesday. She'd be on Wednesday.
By the way, do you add 20 to the Dolla Dolla?
No,
that's for Trev,
because that covers me.
Because
right
that's
there,
not Dolla Dolla. That was
$20. That was the narrow.
That was dollars with a Z at the end.
Here's the updated board.
Ooh, there is a huge development, ladies and gentlemen. There is a tie.
That's right. Nathan is no longer running away with it.
Yeah, I have successfully pulled a Dallas Cowboys. And
you haven't been good after the bye week, Nathan. Haven't been good after the bye.
I've let Stoner come back into this after having a huge lead.
Very, very interesting now.
Yep.
Very, very interesting.
So you want me to go through them real quick?
Yeah, let's go through these real quick. So let's update our audio listeners with the board real quick. So I'm at positive 16. Stoner has now matched me at $16 on the plus side. Trevor standing pat at negative 14.
Yep.
No movement for Trevor this week. We did have to update the board. So for our avid watchers and listeners, we did have a mid-week update on the board because Stoner is not good at math.
Yeah. Wow.
So,
yeah,
I can't remember what it was, so I can't dispute it, right? So we only had one in-game live stream Dolla Dolla bet. And Trev said that on one particular it was one particular drive, you said watch the football team is going to cause a turnover.
And we
did Raiders' second drive. And
and it did not.
That's one thing we need to do more often, I do believe.
You're right.
Go off on that, but we need to do a lot more of that. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Go ahead.
So Nathan and Stoner both took that bet and won. All right. So that was the only in-game bet we had.
Damn.
So during the week, Trev said that Brian Johnson was going to make all his kicks. He did.
Hey, shout out Brian Johnson.
Nathan and Stoner said he was going to miss at least one. And we were happy at the end that we had to pay that dollar. When he made that
more than happy.
More than
Stoner
happy
said, I'll be glad to pay that dollar.
That's right. Nathan and Trev both said that Vegas was going to have 3 sacks, at least 3 sacks. They only had 2.
Oh,
so Stoner took a dollar there. Damn. Stoner and Trev said that Gibby was going to have 32 touches at least. I think he had 28.
It was right close. It was 29
around there.
Yeah, it was right there. 23 rushes,
23 and 5,
and the 5 catches. So 28 total.
Close. So Nathan took a dollar from us there. Trev said that Max Crosby was going to have 2 sacks. He had 0, or maybe he had 1. I don't know if he had 1.
Yeah, because he got a penalty on it.
Yeah, but if it's a penalty, does that get counted as a sack? I don't think it does.
Ooh,
maybe it does.
I don't think it goes in the box score that way, no.
Yep. Only Stoner took that bet. Nathan didn't want any part of that. Nathan said the Raiders
have the sack, by the way.
He did not?
Malcolm Kuntz was the only player on the Raiders credited with
he got 2
sack.
I thought they had 2 sacks.
They had 1 sack.
Oh, okay.
Maybe watch the box score right now. Okay. Yeah, Washington ended up with 2 sacks.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
okay.
Ioannidis and somebody else.
Jonathan
Allen and Smith Williams with half a sack each.
That the Raiders were going to have 2 plays of 40-plus yards. They didn't have any. Stoner and Trev both took $1 there.
Yeah.
Stoner and Nathan both said that Logan Thomas was going to have 5 catches. He only ended up with 3, but he was well on his way to 5.
I think we should stop betting.
No more Logan Thomas bets.
Yeah.
So Trev took $1
which may not be a problem if what Adam says is correct, which that Logan Thomas could be out for the season. We'll see.
Yeah.
Better news came out today. We'll see if he is out for the season. Hopefully he'll come back next season really strong.
Yeah, Adam.
Trev said that Heinecke was going to have 2 picks and specifically said one was going to be a tipped one.
And
I think that interception was a tipped one.
It was.
The guy who got the pick.
Homeboy's hands and Hobbs caught it.
Yeah. The guy who got the pick was not the guy who first hit it. So
thank you very much.
You almost had that because you almost had that pick 6.
I know my quarterbacks, you guys. I'm telling you guys.
Okay.
Yeah, we can clearly see from the board in the center.
We'll find out Sunday.
You know.
Mama Perry, Trev, and Stoner all said Washington would be winning at halftime. Nathan said no. They were winning 7-3 at halftime.
Sucker.
And the last one was Roger. Roger, you shouldn't be making any bets either. Yeah, I mean,
why?
Trev laughs at your bets, Roger. I'm just telling you right now. So, Roger said that William Jackson was going to have not 1 but 2 picks in the game, and not enough people could get lined up to go against that bet. Everybody was just like, I want that. So we all took that
way. I don't even think they threw his way.
And I believe in the last 5 games or whatever,
Roger one time.
his rating or whatever, his PFF rating has been sky high.
Oh, absolutely ridiculous.
For William Jackson.
I don't know
He's figured something out. The defense has figured something out. I ran the stats again. I'm not going to bore you with them, but the last 6 games, not just the last 4, this counts Green Bay and Denver. This defense has been unbelievable.
Yeah, you're right.
All their ranks are top 5.
Just like the Kansas City Chiefs.
Ranks. Yeah. So it's pretty amazing to see what they've done. And why couldn't they do this from the beginning of the year? Was it simply Landon Collins, moving Landon Collins?
Could be.
Was it the ends getting hurt?
No,
it wasn't that. I'm just William Jackson, by the way, his PFF yesterday was 77 on the dot. 0 catches allowed. He had 1 pass defense and 1 tackle.
Beautiful. That's what you want your corners to have.
Monster game for William Jackson. Yeah. Bob McCain, you mentioned his best game as well, 83.2 PFF with 2 pass breakups.
Best corner in the league.
And got just enough a tug that it wasn't so much that they threw a flag.
Black gloves on the back.
Was right there looking at him too. I was like, yo.
Luckily.
No, it was. You can't make that call at the end of the game. And the white hat had nothing to do with it, regardless of what some people might want to think. I saw that one flash around on Twitter. you blame it. We can't. We don't know about that because Washington's on a 4-game win streak. We'll have to see whether or not they can make it 5. And you'll have to check us out on Wednesday to see what we think about Washington's chances for that. Is going to wrap it up here for us here on the day after reckoning. Do check us out on Wednesday live, 7 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Of course, you'll hear us as well on the audio platforms.
You know why?
Why is that?
It is now. Now, since we're leaving the show, it is now officially Dallas week.
It is. We want Dallas. And until next time.
What?
Be a fan.
We love Washington, and we some die-hard fans. Yeah, we are. And you know we keep it on 10. Let's talk about the offense. 1, 2, 3, let's go. And they gifted. We are ref the district. Podcast. Come on now and